We love our desserts, but sometimes a recipe simply makes too much, especially when you are cooking for two. Well, we have the solution. As part of our Nanahood series, we are adding new Nana-friendly recipes to our lineup. These small batch recipes that are perfect when you are cooking for two. We're so excited to have Leigh Anne Wilkes, who sort of coined this. She's here in the studio making her mini apple pies today. It's so great to see you always.
It's nice to be here.
And we're celebrating. You recently relocated to Utah.
I did. I now live in Utah after 40 years in Portland, Oregon.
What a change. You're a brave gal.
Big change.
I admire that, but for good reason.
Grandbabies.
Grandbabies brought you here.
Yes, we're following our children and grandbabies.
And you have five?
Five. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's good math.
Yeah.
That's great math. And now they're close. You can spoil, you can read books, you can do all the things that nannies and papas love to do. And this idea of small batch cooking, this was sort of your pandemic project, right?
It was. Well, as empty nesters, I discovered that there were a lot of my favorite family recipes I wasn't making anymore because they made too much.
Yeah.
And I was too tempted to eat all of it.
Yeah.
So I took all our favorite family recipes and I've reduced them down to serve 2 to 4 people.
So you can still have the food that you love. Sometimes that food becomes a tradition, right? On a certain day or a certain holiday, but just for you and the hubby, if that's who happens to be home on that day. Are there any, Leigh Anne, overarching principles to small batch cooking? We're making apple pie today, which is such a fun, clever interpretation of it. Right. But any principles that will carry you forward across the food board? Well,
generally, I mean, as far as recipes and reducing them down, most recipes are about 4 to 6 people. So it takes a little experimenting, but I can usually reduce it down by half or a third, just depending on the recipe. And the hard part is figuring out the egg.
What do you do with a half an egg?
Well, how do you get a half egg? But I figured out a way.
What?
Well, 2 tablespoons of beaten egg.
Aha.
Is usually what you use, yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Applies. All right, so I love that we're applying this, as I said, to mini apple pies, and you call this the easiest apple pie you'll ever make.
It is. This is an apple pie I've made for over 25 years. Our friends share this, and if you need a full-size apple pie recipe, it's on the blog.
Okay.
Easy apple pie. But I've taken it and made it down for 2, and it's so easy because there's no rolled pastry crust. You use the same topping for the crust and for the top, and literally 10 minutes and you can make an apple pie.
Teach us,
all right,
please.
We're going to start with the melted butter. And this is 7 tablespoons, which is 1 tablespoon less than a half a cup. But you want to take that extra.
You got really good at math at this, right? It's not just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's cutting everything in half.
We have a cup of flour.
Yeah.
A half a cup of sugar.
Okay.
A half a teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
And for this one, we are using 1 egg yolk.
Whew, that's easy.
Don't be tempted to throw the whole egg in.
Just the yolk.
I promise. Just use the egg yolk. And then we're just going to mix this up.
Okay.
And like I said, this becomes our crust and it becomes our crumble. This is kind of like a French apple pie.
Nice.
It has a crumble topping on it. So you just want to get all that mixed together so it'll be kind of crumbly. And then the other trick is I have got these 5-inch pie tins. Now, you can use those disposable aluminum pie tins, the small mini pie tins you find in the store. They're a little harder to work with, but I bought these particular tins on Amazon, and they work great.
Was this part of your small batch pursuit, is kind of investing in these smaller dishes?
It was. I had to find like new kitchen tools that were like reduced size down, and these were great.
Okay.
All right, so now what you're going to do is we're going to kind of just divide it in half, okay? And then we're going to take 1/4 of it into the bottom.
See, I like the crust, so if it was me, I'd go for whatever half was bigger.
I generally put a little bit more in the crust.
Yeah.
And we'll pour this in here.
That's okay. Messy kitchen is a happy kitchen, right?
And then we're just going to pat these in.
Yeah.
And so that it gets down to the bottom and the sides. And like I said, if it feels a little thin, go ahead and steal some from the topping.
Okay.
And then you just want to push it up all the way around.
Do I care if it's even?
Well, you get it somewhat even. It doesn't have to be.
That was the polite answer. Yes, Brooke, you kind of do. Even it up, sister.
And then, so like I say, I'm just stealing a little bit more from the topping.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have, like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to fill it with apples.
And I'm going to be the one eating it, right?
Yep.
At that point.
All right, we got that done. Now we've got our apples. Now I'm using a Granny Smith apple because I like a nice tart apple.
Me too.
It offsets the sweetness of the pie. You can use a Honeycrisp, a Golden Delicious, whatever, but I like a firmer apple.
Yeah.
Now, I peeled these and sliced them early this morning.
Okay.
And they're not brown.
They are not even kind of brown.
So, little trick for you. As I slice them, I take a bowl of cold water, add about a teaspoon of salt in it, submerge the apples in that, let them sit for a minute, then drain them, and they will not turn brown.
Just salt and water?
Yeah.
No lemon juice?
Nothing.
No? Wow.
I find that lemon juice makes it flavors. You can taste it.
Yeah.
You won't taste the salt, nothing.
All
Look
right.
at that.
That looks great.
So we're using about 1 apple.
Okay.
There's probably 2.5 apples in here just because my apples are a little small.
Yeah.
You want to mound it up.
Oh, you're really mounding.
I do, because it's going to bake down. Because you can see the ones over there. These were
This is a
mounded.
game called Keep Up with Leigh Anne, and I'll
This
always
high.
lose. Okay, here.
Sorry, I talk kind of fast
No,
here.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right, we may have a few extra apples here. There we
Yes.
go. Then I'm going to put a few more on yours.
Okay, yeah.
Because
See?
you're going to want them, I guarantee it. Okay, now we're going to take some salt. Sugar.
Sugar.
We don't want to put salt on this. Tablespoon of salt, and I just sprinkle it on. And now if you don't like a real sweet pie, don't use quite as much.
Okay.
And just sprinkle it over there.
All right. This is easy. Cinnamon next.
Cinnamon, now about a half a teaspoon.
What is that? I don't even know.
I don't know, I just sprinkle it till it looks good.
Okay. More? Less?
Oh, you're good. Go ahead and do it on that one.
Uh-huh. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm baking with the queen. Here.
Looks good.
Okay.
Looks good. Then we're going to take what's left of our topping, and we're just going to put it over here so you can reach to. We're going to just sprinkle it, and this gets a little messy.
Okay.
And what I usually will do, in fact, is I will take a baking sheet.
Oh, now she tells us.
I know, after I make a mess.
That's okay. Jeff's
And I
smiling.
like to bake it
He's
on
okay.
this because it's easier to put these small little pans in and out of the oven if it's on a baking sheet.
How do we bake these, ladies?
They're going to go for 350 for about 35 to 40 minutes. It's going to depend on how thick you cut your apples. So try to cut your apples the same thickness and it'll get bubbly and the topping will get golden brown.
Listen, I'll be trying this. I might be cooking for more than two, but I think the mini size even is so fun for a
It is.
family to
It's
have
just
a
more,
different.
little things are more fun to eat.
Always,
Yeah,
always.
yeah.
All right, where can we see more cooking for two recipes and other recipes you've shared over the years?
You can check out my blog, which is yourhomebasedmom.com, which has all family-friendly, picky eater-proof recipes.
Yes.
And then my YouTube channel for Small Batch, it's Small Batch Big Taste.
Nice.
And I'm on Instagram at yourhomebasedmom.com.
I visit your website often.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
some of my family favorites now that you've shared through the screen. So thank you for that. We'll link you over to all of Leigh Anne's channels and social media platforms through our website too. Again, Leigh Anne, great to
Thanks.
see you. Come back more.
All right.
Now that you're close, we
Yes.
love it.